Welcome to AplusGURU.com's solution videos, where today we would like to cover a topic called inequalities and solve the inequality and express the solution in terms of interval notation. Before we try to attempt this problem, let's try to understand what interval notation means. Interval notation is just a notation that is used to describe a set of numbers in an inequality, such as x is greater than or equal to 5. It's an inequality and it's represented like so in terms of interval notation, where it's basically open bracket 5 comma infinity closed parentheses. The reason for an open bracket is because it's greater than or equal to. The number 5 is actually included. If you plug in 5 for x, it does equal to 5, so the statement stands true. And the reason for an closed parentheses is because infinity is an open number. So we have a closed parentheses. Let's go back to our question, where it says x squared minus x minus 6 is less than 0. The first thing we do to solve this problem is we need to figure out the factors and make this equation equal to 0. So let's do that. X squared minus x minus 6 equals to 0. Now we need to figure out the factors, which I've already done over here. Negative 6 multiplied by 1, which is the coefficient of x squared, gives you negative 6, and the multipliers of negative 6 are negative 3 and 2. Now if I add them together, I should get negative 1, which I do. So my factors, which in this case I call them my critical points, will be rewritten as so: x minus 3, x plus 2 equals to 0. Now if we solve them individually, we'll get our critical points, and I'll put them up here. Okay, and so we want to solve for our factors, so we'll have x minus 3 equal to 0, which in return gives us x equals to 3. Same thing with the second one, x plus 2 equals 0, which in return will give us x equals to negative 2. Now, these are our critical points, okay, where they will actually tell us where the inequality is going to reside. So the next step would be to draw a number line and plot these critical points, which I've already done, and then we would actually pick a point in each section of this number line and plug it in for x to make sure that the statement stands true. Okay, so let's try picking a point between negative infinity and negative 2, plug it into this equation, and see if it's less than 0. If it's not less than 0, then that's not our solution. If it is less than 0, then that will be our solution. So let's pick negative 3, which is between negative infinity and negative 2. So we'll pick negative 3 squared minus negative 3 minus 6, which actually equals to 6. Now this is, and 6 is not equal to 0, but is in fact greater than 0. So this is not a true statement for us. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight it as red. Okay, so this area right here is not true for us. Okay, let's pick a number between negative 2 and 3. Now the easiest number to pick between negative 2 and 3 would be actually 0. So let's go ahead and do that, and we plug it in for x. So 0 squared minus 0 minus 6, which in return gives us negative 6. And this is actually a true statement because it's less than 0. Okay, so it looks like we have found one of our solutions, and I'm going to go ahead and shade it gray so it does exist here. Okay. Alright. Now, let's try the last part where we can pick a point between 3 and infinity for x and plug it in there. So I'll pick 4. 4 squared minus 4 minus 6, which gives us in return 6, and that is greater than 0, which we're not looking for. So I'm going to highlight that as red. Okay, so it looks like that our solution resides between -2 and 3. Now, since it's just a less than sign, therefore our solution is now going to become -2, 3. Okay, so that is basically our solution, and I hope this video was helpful to you today for the topic called inequalities. Thank you very much for watching AplusGURU.com's solution video. Please visit us at www.aplusguru.com and take advantage of a free 15-minute trial which is offered to all new users for a limited time.